How you doing everyone? I'm Jake and this is Rave Vinyl Reminiscence, the channel where we rifle through my old school record collection, celebrating some of the greatest labels, top DJs and producers, different styles of the era and stirring up some treasured memories. You've tuned into an episode where we take another look at a top artist at a time. Some of you will know him well, others will have at least heard some of his music. And I'm pretty sure for a lot of you, there'll be a couple of tunes at least amongst this bunch that are new to your ears. Now we also have some trippy visuals from an artist that I introduced in the previous episode. So strap in tight, it's time to take a tour through some tasty tunes from the Cool Hand Flex. Here we are then. Hope you're doing well everyone. Had a little bit of a break from making videos lately, partly because I've got a couple of other projects on the go, writing a book being one of them, that's a mission, but also because I decided right from the start that I was only going to switch this camera on when I had a real calling to do so, you know? I'm not worried about a certain number of videos a month, they just happen as and when the passion boils for a particular theme. And that way, every episode to date and to come means a lot to me. Now, as it goes, I've also just been away to Dorset for a bit of a holiday, which was nice and relaxing. Lots of country air and clotted cream. But also bloody handy, because where I was staying just so happened to be only 45 minutes from who I would suggest is the man for servicing and repairing Technics turntables, Richard Talmage. So I weren't going to let that opportunity pass. Normally it's a bloody ridiculous journey to his place, and there's no way my decks are ever going anywhere in the post. So I packed the old girls up along with a second pair I've got in storage, and 4 turntables in flight cases came on holiday with me. Wouldn't have got away with that when I was married, I'll tell you. Anyway, Richard gave all 4 of my decks the full going over. Serviced, brand new pitch controls, bulbs, cables and a couple of replacement tone arms which were getting tired. All genuine new old stock items. Items which are increasingly hard to get now because they're discontinued. So after 3 days with Richard, 4 beautifully clean looking, 100% spot on turntables came away with me. Good as new and set for another 30 years at least of use. So there's my main pair back in situ and ready to roll. Can't blame my bloody gear if I balls a mix up now, that's for sure. I'll put a link to Richard's services in the description in case you're looking for a Rolls Royce MOT on your decks anytime in the future. So anyway, on with the subject in hand. A bit of background on Cool Hand Flex. Flex's real name is Pete Aymer. He's one of the 3 Aymer brothers, the other 2 being Mike, aka Mike the Underground, and John, aka Real to Real. A DJ and producer, Pete played on Fantasy FM, Cool FM, Rave FM, and worked in his brother Mike's record shop, the Underground Records in Forest Gate. Out of that record store came some labels that feature throughout this episode. The Underground Records, You Know That, and In Touch Records. Flex also used to play on Centreforce with the late great Randall, and together they co-founded Mac 2 Recordings. Now I'm going to showcase 13 of my favourite tracks from Flex in this episode, but as I always say, this is not a finite list of his tunes, there's plenty more. These are just my personal pick of the bunch. Also, as I mentioned at the start, we do have an extensive selection of beautifully psychedelic artwork throughout, done by my friend Eclectisphere. He kindly offered to do all the visuals for this particular episode. I'll link his channel below, check his psychedelic work and music there. So, uploading the first track. My copy of this release is reverse label, which can be a bit confusing, but this track is With You, and it kicks off like this.
Bad boy. Bad boy. Bad boy.
Those tasty stabs soon open up into this rolling vocal section, with a hint of Mystery Man's Love E going on in the background for me. such a warm, nostalgic feeling that whole sound evokes in me. And yet I don't really remember ever hearing this back in the day. And if you heard this on a mixtape, let me know. So next up is a proper funky number with sampling from Big Daddy Kane's Raw. And there's another vocal which I couldn't get to the bottom of. Again, let me know in the comments if you recognise it. This is RAW from '93. Someone will know that sample, I'm sure. Now that jolly and melodic tone takes a bit of a turn further on as we hit this dark rotation. Very reinforced records vibe here for me. My next choice is the flip side of the same release, and it's a massive tune. Entering the game with a blistering drum, which then hits into this wide open dark breakdown. But it's the way it does this loading up thing before the drums kick in again each time. Like knocking down a gear and then launching. You'll know what I mean when you hear it.
Body.
That's a belter. Titled Dangerous, as you saw there. This track lays back into this soothing section next, with another great sample before taking off again with loads of energy. On full tilt, this is an absolute steamer, but it does close down nice and chilled at the end, using these haunting vocals which featured in Bizarre Inc.'s Raise Me back in '91. Just perfect for bringing the energy of a set right down, giving the crowd a short breather. Sweet. So my next track has a slightly surreal feel to it in the first section. There's a great layering of drum patterns as it pushes on. A nice bit of bass cone stretching. This is Out of Control. This track has a real adrenaline-fueled pace to it, and a lovely deep punching bass. I love the way that layering of drums keeps switching and adding interest. You can hear it here in this section where these little additions chip in and out. You've got the Apache style rhythm cutting through and then dropping back out again. Sounds quality. Right, next up, we have a bit of a monster. This release saw a collaboration with DJ Hype. Now, I might get yelled at for not playing the other side, but out of the two, this is the tune I bought it for. Dropping quickly into this dark rumble from hell, this is the aptly named Pump Up the Bass. There's a couple of different tasty flavours in this track and both are banging. The core of the tune is this rapid flurry of darkness, coupled with the title track vocals. And then we get this juicy section here. The powerful stabs and the slow-mo drum. Very immersive sound that you just know would own the place on a big system. Pretty yum that. Right, we're going to move on to a little run of tunes now, cut on In Touch Records. Loads of hidden gems on this label. The first of which is a tune called On the Strength, featuring a vocal sample from Get Pepped by the Skinny Boys.
On the strength, jump and dance to it.
After that dynamic entry, the track hits these nice spiky stabs, which kick off with this forward and then reverse drum loop before rolling. This tune again has that buzz where you get a few different chapters almost. About halfway through it drops into this real positive energy of a piano. tune. Right, now for something a bit quirky. This tune is full of character. More Big Daddy Kane sampling here, and synths from Setup Systems Fairy Dust. This is Hold Back.
I just can't hold back.
This is definitely one I don't remember being played out back in the day. We've got flavours of classic tunes in here, and yet it's unique. Check these tremored vocals here, adding a real sense of tension.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Again, the dynamic nature of Flex's work showing here, as the tune switches into this quite vintagey sounding use of horns, taken from Cramp Your Style by All the People. I'm going to play all 3 tracks on this release because they're all quality. The flip side is mistitled, showing the track titles the wrong way round. So this first tune is Chill Out.
I'm coming hardcore, hardcore. Can you feel it? Can you feel it?
House time, 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 house time.
Again, very classic underground sounds here, but all with a signature twist added. Chill Out later drops us into darkness with these Can You Feel It vocals, which I couldn't pinpoint the source for. Great tune though.
Can you feel it?
The third track from this release is Energy. Yet another tasty number with that distinctive Flex vibe straight off the bat. This bit though I love. The moody blanket of sound weirdly contrasts with the vocal. And then you get this kind of back of the hall echoed percussion coming in. Sounds meaty.
I'm falling in love with you. I'm falling in love with you. Go, go, go.
Okay, so one more release from In Touch Records for you. And the first track on it is Complete Control. We've got a vocal sample here from Cinnamon's I Need You Now, and it's on.
Let it take complete control. Let it take complete control. Let it take complete control.
This is a tune. Check this bit out here as it drops down into this trippy breakdown. Very reinforced record sounds again to my ears. Dirty. Now I'll play you this last little bit here too, where we have some more of that contrasting sampling going on. The dark trippy backdrop with some upbeat melody over the top, all causing like interesting tension. Nice. However, the flip side of this I like even better. This lovely musical track is titled Mars, and it's another lovely example of Flex's interesting use of different drum layers. Somewhere in here, apparently, there's a vocal from Technics. Just trying to pinpoint it. But what I really like about this tune is its ride up and down in energy. About halfway through, we drop into this big wall of sound. You know, the kind that when you're a bit worse for wear makes even just standing there and looking around a bit too much. This is a great track to play right in the middle of a set late at night. Kind of bridges the madness with some chill space to get your head together. Got this breather here, it's lovely with a soothing backdrop. The drums gradually pick up, and then we have this really positive melody line coming in behind it. Such a nice energy. Great tune that. Okay, so we return to the Underground Records now for another character-filled tune. This is Wip Lash, and it kicks off like this.
Oh, it's in its fair.
Random vocal sample from Lolita Holloway thrown in here. The tune drops into a signature big sound now, grabbing attention and delivering more layering out of drum patterns as it exits. This is the bit I love most about this track though. As it dips into this spacey breather here, you get this lovely female vocal that just drives it forwards. Well, that brings us almost to the end of our tour through just some of Cool Hand Flex's work. And as usual, I've saved one of the best till last, but we'll come to that. I want to say thank you once again to Eclectisphere for those mesmerising visuals throughout. What a gentle, generous soul you come across as, mate. Thank you for all your hard work. Like I said earlier, please check his channel out. It's linked below. And talking of links below, slightly off topic, before I forget, if you like the look of the Ravey t-shirt I'm wearing today, I've also added a link to where you can get one, Suburban Bass's official website. They've got a huge selection of vinyl and old school merchandise, t-shirts, caps, slip mats, mugs, you name it. It's like journeying back 30 years. Now of course, thanks and respect go out to Pete Aymer for his contributions to the rave world. You know, once again, bringing together tunes from a single artist has really helped me to appreciate their work in a way that can be missed. You know, when their tunes are just spread out across the entirety of the rave archives, which makes me think about our lives in general as it goes, spreading our attention too thin. How many distractions are there now in this busy old world? I've been having some lovely chats in the comments section lately, and some of them have touched on this, looking back on the simpler times from when this music was born. Times when there was no mobile phone to stare at as we walked along the street. Instead, we'd look around and think and say, hello. Times when we didn't have a camera or high-res recording device in our hands 24/7. So when something great was happening, people would experience it rather than film and post it. Times when hundreds, sometimes thousands of people would be at a rave, and they'd really be at the rave. Presence, the simplicity of being here now, the true currencies of our life, time and attention. We even recognise that value in the language, don't we? We spend time, we pay attention. I think it's that energy of focused presence that I really miss when I think back to those old raves. That and the sense of love and connection we felt. These things, useful as they are and with all their potential, have not only stolen much of our time and attention, but they've ironically disconnected us in many ways too. From each other, physically, but also from the most basic but important sense of meaning and purpose. If I let it, this little device here will tell me all day long in numerous clever ways that I'm not enough, I need to do more, buy more, be better than you, be scared of that, and that. And how much of it is even real anymore? That's another subject in itself. If I'm not really careful with my time and attention, I might forget to give at least some of it to some very important things, like kindness, curiosity, what's actually happening in the real world right here, and which values I'm going to amplify in my little bit of it today. In the comments section just last week, a subscriber said something very powerful. They shared with me that checking in with these old tunes and going on these journeys had brought back a sense of wanting to do something nice for someone, simply because it feels good to do so. That comment says it all for me. Says it all about the love and the connection contained energetically in these here bits of old vinyl. Talking of which, here's one more for you to give your precious time and attention to. This last track is a cracker. Nice bit of LFO popping in throughout, and all wrapped up in a powerhouse of a belting rave track. I'll leave you with this. It's Hey-Yeh. Thanks for being here again. I appreciate your presence, and send love and respect out to each and every one of you. Till next time, friends. See ya.